Imagine waking up every single day with a clear and unwavering sense of purpose. Not bothered by setbacks, not shaken by the chaos around you, and always focused on what truly matters. It almost sounds superhuman, doesn't it? Yet, this was the reality for one of the most powerful individuals in history, Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. His personal reflections, which have stood the test of time, are not just relics of an ancient era. They are timeless insights on how to live with self-discipline and clarity in a noisy, distracting world. In today's world, filled with constant distractions and external pressure, Stoicism is a path to reclaim control over your mind and actions. We're diving into the heart of Stoic philosophy, exploring its practical principles, not just as abstract ideas, but as tangible tools for a disciplined, meaningful life. Stoicism teaches us how to turn adversity into an opportunity for growth, emotional turmoil into peace, and life's unpredictability into a wellspring of inner strength. Whether you're dealing with stress, seeking inner peace, or looking for ways to improve your productivity, Stoicism offers profound insights that are just as relevant today as they were in Marcus Aurelius' time. In a world filled with distractions and instant gratification, Stoic teachings ground us in virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation. It's not about merely enduring life, but thriving in it, no matter what obstacles may come your way. If you're ready to transform how you face life's challenges, stick with us as we unpack the life-changing teachings of Marcus Aurelius and explore how they can help you develop a disciplined, meaningful life in the modern world. At the heart of Marcus Aurelius' philosophy is a core belief: true self-discipline begins with understanding your purpose. But what does it mean to find your purpose? It's about discovering what truly matters to you, what drives you at your deepest level, and aligning your actions with that calling. Aurelius often spoke about living in harmony with nature, which, in Stoic terms, means understanding your role in the world and acting in accordance with your virtues. For him, purpose wasn't just a lofty ideal, it was a practical guide for every decision he made, big or small. Understanding your purpose is what gives you the drive to get out of bed in the morning, to face life's challenges with resolve, and to stay grounded when temptation tries to pull you off course. It's not about external accolades or grand achievements, but about fulfilling the duties life has set before you and performing each task with commitment and integrity. In today's world, finding your purpose can often seem overwhelming. We are constantly surrounded by distractions and infinite choices that can make it hard to know which direction to take. This is where Stoic wisdom becomes essential. It teaches us to strip away superficial desires and transient emotions to uncover what is truly essential for our well-being and growth. The Stoic approach encourages us to ask ourselves, what is truly worth my time and energy? How can my actions today contribute to the greater good and my personal growth? Reflect on what you're naturally drawn to, where you find true satisfaction, or the challenges that motivate you. These are all signs of your purpose. Once you've identified your purpose, the Stoic practice of daily reflection becomes invaluable. By continuously aligning your actions with your purpose, saying no to distractions and yes to what truly matters, you cultivate the self-discipline necessary to live a meaningful, impactful life. Try this simple practice. Each morning, ask yourself, what am I meant to do today? And each evening, reflect on whether you've lived true to your purpose. Over time, this practice will build not only self-discipline but a deeper sense of fulfillment and meaning in your life. Marcus Aurelius frequently emphasized the importance of relying on oneself. Self-reliance is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. This doesn't mean rejecting help from others, but rather recognizing that the ultimate responsibility for our actions, our reactions, and our growth rests within us. Aurelius often talked about focusing on what is within our control. By relying on ourselves, we tap into an inner strength that allows us to navigate through life's challenges with confidence. This is about building competence, not through arrogance, but through a deep understanding of our own abilities and virtues. In today's world, with constant advice and opinions at our fingertips, learning to trust our inner voice can be difficult. But Stoicism teaches us to tune out the noise and trust our reasoning and judgment. When we count on ourselves, we develop autonomy, allowing us to make decisions based on our values and principles rather than external pressures. To start building this self-reliance, take small steps, set personal goals, make commitments, and honor them. Reflect on your decisions, ensuring they align with your core values. Over time, this practice will strengthen your self-discipline, making you more resilient in the face of life's uncertainties. Aurelius also emphasized the importance of persistence, showing up not just in body, but in spirit, every single day. This practice is not about occasional bursts of effort, but about the steady commitment to daily tasks, which together build a disciplined life. For Aurelius, showing up every day was synonymous with living in accordance with nature, meaning actively participating in life and fulfilling your duties. In today's world, it's easy to get inspired one day and lose focus the next. Here, Stoicism teaches us the power of consistency. It's not about intensity, but about regularity. Showing up every day, no matter how small the task, is what builds character. This doesn't mean each day needs to be a masterpiece of productivity, it's about making sure each day counts. Whether advancing in your career, improving your health, or strengthening relationships, progress requires the commitment to show up every single day. To cultivate this discipline, start small, perhaps write just one paragraph of the book you've been meaning to write, do a 5-minute workout, or spend uninterrupted time with a loved one. The scale of the effort doesn't matter, it's the act of showing up that builds the discipline. Each time you meet your commitment, you reinforce your willpower, strengthening your resilience and embracing the Stoic belief in personal responsibility and continuous self-improvement. Through this practice, you live in alignment with your values and demonstrate that while we cannot control outcomes, we can control our efforts. Marcus Aurelius also taught the importance of voluntarily embracing discomfort. This might sound counterintuitive in a world that strives for comfort, but the Stoic belief is that discomfort, when chosen willingly, strengthens the mind. By putting yourself in situations that push you out of your comfort zone, you develop resilience, ensuring that when life inevitably brings discomfort, you are prepared. This could involve enduring physical challenges, cutting out luxuries, or making small sacrifices in daily life. The goal is not to punish yourself but to build mental fortitude. By practicing discomfort, we begin to appreciate the comforts we often take for granted. It also helps us empathize with others who may be experiencing hardship involuntarily. Start small, perhaps wake up an hour earlier, limit your use of technology, or take the stairs instead of the elevator. These small acts of voluntary hardship will help develop resilience and deepen your appreciation for life's simple comforts. One of the core principles of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control, understanding what is and isn't within our control. Stoicism teaches us to focus our energy on what we can control, our actions, our responses, our judgments. Everything external, from the weather to other people's actions, lies beyond our control. Marcus Aurelius often stressed that getting upset by things outside our control is not only futile but counterproductive to our well-being. To practice the dichotomy of control, ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's not, let it go. This practice frees us from unnecessary frustration and helps us maintain peace of mind, even in difficult situations. It doesn't mean detaching from the world, but instead engaging with it more constructively. By focusing on what we can control, we remove the weight of the external world from our shoulders. It's about accepting what comes our way and responding with grace, knowing that our happiness is determined not by external events, but by how we respond to them. This Stoic teaching also extends to how we set goals. While striving for our goals, we should not tie our happiness to the outcome, especially when that outcome depends on factors beyond our control. Instead, find satisfaction in the effort, in the pursuit, and in staying true to your values. Stoicism doesn't promise a life free from challenges, but it does offer a way to maintain inner peace, dignity, and control over your reactions regardless of the circumstances. By practicing these principles, we can live in alignment with our deepest values, no matter what life throws our way. Stoicism teaches us to remain steadfast in our convictions and focused on our goals, even in the face of doubt and skepticism from others. For Stoics, the approval or disapproval of others is outside one's control, and therefore, it's not something to rely on for personal validation or guidance. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about focusing only on actions and opinions within one's own control. He emphasized that true peace comes from within and cannot be shaken by external judgments. This Stoic indifference isn't about being dismissive of others, but rather about maintaining an internal locus of control. It encourages us to filter out noise that doesn't serve our higher purposes or align with our values. In practical terms, ignoring naysayers is crucial in today's world, where opinions are plentiful, and criticism is often just a click away. It involves recognizing that while constructive feedback can be valuable for growth, baseless criticism should not deter us from our path. This distinction is vital. Stoicism teaches us to evaluate the source and intent of the criticism we receive. Is it informed? Is it well-meaning? Does it align with our core values? More importantly, practicing this principle means building a personal philosophy robust enough to withstand external pressures. It's about being confident in your decisions and actions, not out of arrogance, but because of a deep understanding of your own values and objectives. This is exactly what Marcus Aurelius practiced daily, not just as a ruler, but as a human being striving for virtue in a complex world. The ability to ignore naysayers also enhances our emotional resilience, making us less reactive to negative opinions and more focused on our long-term vision. In a culture that often emphasizes the social validation loop, being able to step outside this cycle and stay true to oneself is both rare and powerful. Embracing the Stoic practice of ignoring naysayers helps protect our mental space and empowers us to choose where to invest our emotional energy. It's about not letting external noise distract us from our internal dialogue, the one that truly shapes our lives. This next concept is rooted in the belief that much of our learning and personal development comes from observing and reflecting on the lives of those who have mastered virtues we aspire to develop. Emulating wise individuals isn't about copying them, but about learning from their example to enhance our own character and judgment. Marcus Aurelius, despite being an emperor, often wrote about his admiration for the qualities of others, both past and present. He saw the emulation of these figures as a way to internalize their strengths and virtues. For him, and other Stoics, wisdom wasn't just theoretical knowledge, but a practical guide to living well, best understood through the actions of those who had effectively applied these principles. In the context of Stoicism, choosing whom to emulate means recognizing individuals who embody the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These could be historical figures, contemporaries, or even characters from stories and literature who demonstrate qualities like resilience, ethical integrity, and rational thinking. The key is to look for individuals whose lives provide a roadmap for facing challenges with grace and determination. Applying this principle today involves a thoughtful selection of role models whose values align with our aspirations. It's about more than admiration, it's about critically observing how these individuals navigate their lives, make decisions, and handle adversity. This practice encourages us to ask ourselves, what about this person's approach or mindset can I incorporate into my own life to improve my conduct and choices? Emulating wise individuals bridges the gap between abstract philosophical concepts and everyday actions. It provides concrete examples of how Stoic principles can be lived out. This makes these ideals not just more accessible, but also more compelling as we see their tangible impact in the lives of those we respect. In seeking out and emulating wise people, we engage in dynamic learning and self-improvement. It's a proactive approach to personal development that reinforces our commitment to growth and excellence. By surrounding ourselves with the influence of virtuous individuals, we set a high standard for our own behavior and decisions, propelling ourselves toward becoming the wise individuals we aspire to be. This practice isn't merely about recounting events but involves a profound, reflective examination of one's thoughts, actions, and responses throughout the day. It's about discerning whether these behaviors aligned with one's values and Stoic virtues such as wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. This introspective process is crucial because it serves as a feedback loop that helps us become more conscious of our actions and decisions. For Stoics, the purpose of this daily review isn't to dwell on mistakes or indulge in self-criticism, but to observe and adjust. It's about learning from each day's experiences and using that knowledge to refine ourselves continuously. Marcus Aurelius used this technique to ensure that he was not only fulfilling his duties as emperor but also growing as a philosopher and human being. Incorporating this practice into modern life can be incredibly beneficial. It encourages us to end each day with a moment of quiet reflection. During this time, ask yourself several key questions. How did I respond to challenges today? Did I act according to my principles? What could I have done better? Were there moments where I lost control, and why? Reflecting on these questions helps you develop greater self-awareness and guides you in living a more deliberate, intentional life. Moreover, this practice can foster a sense of peace and completion at the end of each day. It allows you to address lingering thoughts or stresses directly rather than carrying them into the next day. This is especially powerful in our fast-paced world, where it's easy to lose track of our deeper goals amid daily distractions and pressures. By honestly reviewing your day, you engage in a form of self-accountability that is gentle yet rigorous. It's about recognizing your strengths and acknowledging areas for improvement without judgment. This Stoic habit builds resilience and wisdom, as it teaches you to be both the student and teacher in your life's journey, constantly learning from your experiences and striving to embody the virtues that define Stoicism. Over time, this practice can transform how you view your days and how you live your life, aligning more closely with the ideals you cherish. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of Stoicism and the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius. Remember, every day is a new step toward mastering yourself and embracing the virtues that define a life well lived. If you're keen to dive deeper, check out one of the suggested videos on your screen next. Your presence enriches this journey,